Hello. All right, so let's chat. Let's say you had a week where you were working hard and eating right and exercising every day with one break day and moving a lot, hitting all your goals that you set for yourself. And then you get on the scale and nothing. You lost 0. And you were even feeling like thinner and feeling better. I mean, that happens, and it happens quite frequently for a lot of us. Or the scale went up, which can happen. There are so many factors for your weight not going down in a particular week. And even sometimes when you have the best week and you have done everything right, it takes a while sometimes for your body to get the memo. And so today we're going to talk about plateaus and also my Wednesday weigh-in combined together. I have to tell you that a plateau is not a bad thing at all. It is, in fact, a good sign that your body is doing something really smart. So we're gonna talk about this a little bit. First, I'm gonna go over my Wednesday weigh-in because it's Wednesday. And again, I am doing some shorter videos. I really apologize. My mom is still in skilled nursing. She will be moving the beginning of next week. And I have not been able to spend as much time as I would like to preparing my Wednesday video. So this is kind of impromptu, if you will. So let's talk about why I'm talking about a plateau, because I jumped on the scale and I am same weight as I was last week on Wednesday weigh-in. And I had gone down a pound and I went up 2 pounds and I went down a pound because I weigh myself almost every day right now. And I settled back in on exactly where I was last week. So that's fine. And then I started thinking about plateaus because I know people get so frustrated. And my daughter, who has been on this almost a year and switched from tirzepatide or Zepbound to semaglutide or semaglutide, I'm not sure which way is proper to say it, Wegovy. And she has been at a plateau for a couple of months, and I know it's extremely frustrating for her. And it's really hard to lose sight of how far you've come. I think that when you hit a plateau, if you've been doing this for a while, first of all, it's a plateau because you've lost some weight. And you're following this channel. I mean, I guess you could gain weight and plateau, but we're all about, or I'm all about losing weight on this channel, and more so about feeling good. And feeling good for me looked like losing 110 pounds is what I would like to lose. I am down 82 pounds, I think it is. I don't have my little book up here. I'm down a lot from when I started, and the plateau is your body, and I would like to lose more. I'm still just inched into the overweight and not obese on the scales. So I understand the frustration, but for me, first thing with your plateau is your body's adjusting. When you lose weight, your hormones, your metabolism, your water balance, everything has to recalibrate. And I remember growing up so many times in diets, people talking about a set point. In fact, there were people that said for years and years, your set point, you can't get down, you can't maintain a loss below your set point. And I haven't researched this a lot. I just know it's a term that's used a lot. And I don't believe that's true, but I do believe that, or I have noticed that as you plateau, it's kind of like if you are mountain climbing or taking a hike. You don't start at the bottom of the hill and walk all the way to the top of the hill and never stop and have lunch and drink some water and catch your breath and give your body a chance to rest. I don't think, I mean, maybe there are some of you hikers that do that, but I don't think it's relaxing because you don't stop and look at the view as you're climbing. So you start at the bottom of the hill and you're going to the top. And if you don't slow down and look at the view some of the time, take a drink of water, have a snack, look at the beauty around you, then you feel better for finishing your hike. I feel like your body's the same way. You need to give it those rests that your body is telling you with a plateau, hang on. And I actually, as I was out for my jog this morning, was thinking about it. And I was thinking about Ralphie on not Home Alone, A Christmas Story. The Christmas Story, where he's like, hey guys, wait for me, running in his little suit behind him. That is your body in a plateau. It's like, hey, sit tight for a minute. Learn how to drink more water, prioritize protein. It kind of gives you a chance to pay attention to other things and focus on other things and not just the weight. Focusing on the fact that your clothes are fitting a little bit better, or the fact that you feel better walking upstairs. I think a plateau is a natural time to sit back and appreciate things that are not scale related, if that makes sense. I've been thinking about this a lot this morning, and just because I didn't take the time to write it down and go through it cohesively, because I can't right now. Hopefully next week will be a more in-depth point-by-point video. But I just think it's an important time for you to look at everything else when you hit a plateau and focus on the positive things that have happened up until now, because there will be some. It's a practice round. It's a chance for you to get really good at your new habits, eating better, moving more. You have to do it and keep doing it so that it becomes second nature instead of something you're just doing to get a number on the scale. And NSVs, non-scale victories. It takes a while because the first, you do have non-scale victories. They're just different as you go along. At the beginning, my non-scale victory was, the first couple months was my inflammation going away and not feeling sore all the time. It was wanting to be in a few more family pictures without having to strategically pose myself to look thinner. Your arms, my daughter would say arms back, leg forward, all these weird positions. It was sitting in rides at Disney and feeling more comfortable. And later, like just in the past couple of months, it's been clothes that fit me better. Just recently, it's that my legs are not rubbing together when I walk, and it feels so strange. And also really good. It makes me feel, not because of the way I look, but because of the way I walk. I am much more comfortable in my gait. I'm sleeping better, probably because I'm not drinking. But none of those things, they are correlated to losing weight, but they are also independent of that, in that you can look at those things and be happy that those things happened the week before. Like I slept good every night, or I'm still wearing a new pair of pants that's smaller, even though the scale didn't move. So I think it's a matter of not making yourself a slave to the scale, or to, mentally to have that make or break your week. And that a plateau, to really look at it as my body's catching up. It's Ralphie running, hey guys, wait for me, wait for me. It's your body going, hey, wait for me, wait for me. I'm gonna, your weight hit, but some other things are happening. So the scale does not tell the whole story. And, your clothes can fit better even when the scale doesn't move. I regret that I didn't do measurements before I started everything, because I know that I would see some different numbers there. And I sometimes think about I should do my measurements now and see, from here on out, because the weight loss is very soon going to be slowing down. I think I only want to lose about 25 more pounds. And so kind of towards the end of my losing journey, 80, 90, yeah, 30 pounds max, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of happy where I am now. So these plateaus for me are welcome. They're a time to look at, what do I want to accomplish? What do I want to accomplish? How do I want to feel? How do I want, I'm working on my muscles. And because I'm getting older, because I'm almost 60, I'm very much working on strength training, not so much to fill in the skin that tends to get a little more loose as you're losing weight, but because I want to be able to walk upstairs. I'm focusing very much on strengthening my legs and strengthening my arms. So, your goals are very important, and you have to look at the goals that you're hitting, even if the scale's not moving. If you are eating protein for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're doing that, and 5 days out of 7 you're rocking it, then do not feel bad about hitting a plateau. Look at it as you're halfway up the mountain or 3/4 way up the mountain, and it's time to rest so that your body can do what it needs to do to get up the rest of the mountain. Because sometimes, like when you work out too hard, like I've done in the past, and then I get a cold, your body almost always has the last word. You can say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to starve myself, or I'm going to, do it this way. And you know what? You don't always have a choice. Like, your body can push back on you in ways that you don't want. So listen to your body. Don't try to, because I see myself when I've not lost weight a couple of weeks before, I'm like, oh, I'm only going to eat 2 meals a day, and I don't think that's necessarily the right way to go about it. I think that in most cases, your plateau or your stall will go back to losing. Sometimes it's a big plateau, sometimes it's a shorter plateau. Oddly enough, and I have read in so many places, sometimes you hit a plateau, and if you eat more the following week, you lose weight because your metabolism has gone into starvation mode. I have not experienced that myself, but there is a lot of evidence by a lot of people that comment on the pages that I follow that say that's what happened to me. I was severely restricting my calorie count, and my body was holding on to every last calorie. So I'm just trying to explain to you many different things that can be happening when you hit a plateau, because it's not just one thing for anybody. Sometimes you're taking in too few calories. Sometimes you've added creatine to your diet, and your body that forces your muscles to hold more water so that you can work out better. That will cause some weight gain. Sometimes you're replacing fat with muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. And so per size, muscle here, fat is lighter than muscle. So as you're replacing building muscle in your body and losing fat, it doesn't always translate to your scale going down. And, but there's still a lot of other things that you can look at and say, yay, but this happened. Yay. I kept up my healthy eating, and I'm teaching myself to eat right. Everything shouldn't be dependent on that number on the scale. You have to have other non-scale victories and other things that make you happy in your weight loss journey that you can look at and go, well, I did this week. And so that's it. So let's see, I went over my weight, and it's 15 minutes into it. Talked about plateaus and how they're kind of a blessing, I feel like. And I'll give you an update on my mom. My mom is still in skilled nursing. We are moving her the beginning of next week to hopefully her house and getting some 24-hour care there for the first couple of weeks while she gets used to being back at home. And that has all been very stressful for her, very stressful for everyone. And so I have to tell you that the workouts that I have fit in have been life-saving for me. And just getting out and walking in nature has been really restorative during all of this. So, and again, all the really nice comments that everyone left last week. I'm sorry, these videos are short. They're not as long as I'd like them to be. I have all kinds of exciting things I want to talk about, like retatrutide and all the new drugs and some other weird drugs that are coming out that I am going to do a video on this weekend. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. Let me know how you're doing. I'm dying to know. And if you've hit a plateau, this is 17 minutes into the video. So for the 2 friends that I have left out there, let me know if you've hit a plateau and what you've done during the plateau that helped you keep moving again if you've experienced this, because it's always interesting for me to hear other people and what they've done to get things moving again. So thank you for joining me. Glad you're here, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Wednesday.